So yeah, I'm Maria. I'm a geoinformation system specialist in Tallinn, and the service I want you to introduce today is a city planning service named Tallinn Planning Register, which was a bit outdated and not very user-friendly before. And we are still redesigning this service, and some things are still in development. But we are reaching public beta testing soon, so most of the learnings and developments are already defined. This is a really good example of digitally transforming one very complex end-to-end service involving many stakeholders, private sector, developers, local residents, city architects, decision makers in the city, like politicians, to name a few. And last year, Tallinn has been cooperating with service design team, future government from United Kingdom, IT development team, residents, and different stakeholders from the city to entirely redesign this service according to user needs. And the service itself, it's experienced by residents by researching for any planning information in their city or in their neighborhood, and giving feedback about these developments through Tallinn Planning Registry. And it has three main parts. Firstly, putting the resident-focused planning information in the planning register, namely 2D and 3D maps, statistics, description of the plan, etc. And there are hundreds of detailed plans in the process right now, which some can take 5+ years. So it's a really complex and long-term impact service. And second part of that service is collecting and analyzing resident feedback data, which previously was a bit, it's very time consuming, and there's like this resident feedback data, their city hasn't maybe seen too much value in it, but in making this like a valuable data set, it can be better used in decision making. And third party is using this feedback data to really improve decision making regarding future developments in Tallinn. And we are not only concentrating on technical side of the planning process, namely redesigning the way we show planning information to residents, but also how residents interact with the city and how to really engage residents in planning decisions. And for that, we really have to change how this service stuff is working internally. And here's I show one example of one of our prototypes, which was well received by residents. Here's the landing page of the registry where you can see your local plans, and then moving to the specific detail plan where you can explore different maps about the developments. Also, you can see 3D model where you can see the whole city model in 3D, also future developments in 3D. And after familiarizing yourself with all the information about the plan, you can give feedback, which will finally feed into a feedback dashboard, and it helps architects and decision makers to make decisions in weekly planning commission boards. And as a result of thorough research conducted with the residents and different stakeholders, we have mapped out the needs of the residents regarding planning services. And from this, we created a vision for the detailed planning service to achieve our desired impact. Improving the planning register is only one part of end-to-end service transformation, and it must be accompanied by proactive involvement, asking for feedback earlier, engaging more representative group of residents. Also, very important part is a better analysis of the feedback, and lastly, a better communication about city planning. And to measure if we have reached desired impact, we have created a sort of impact map to see if after going live with the service, that service is serving its purpose. For example, some measurements we have, like, do residents feel if they are engaged in city planning? Do they feel that their feedback is considered, and do they feel that they have a good view on what's happening in the city regarding city planning? And why is this service exemplary in terms of user centricity? As I mentioned already before, this service is not yet finalized. We are still in the development phase. There are still like some important points to bring out about digital deliveries. As all the planning information is digitally available, it's made more digitally available, and it's made more accessible, then everything can be looked at online. Because before there were like some materials, they were on paper, some they're like in different formats, so it's like all kind of mess. So it was really hard for regular residents to look all the data online and to understand it. But there's also an option to go to the city office to look into the physical materials and give feedback about the developments face to face if they want to. About accessibility, that we have tested different prototypes with variety of residents and figured out the specific user needs and user journeys. And this, as we have tested with so many different residents, there has come out like very clear like needs. How should we present planning information? Before it was like more text and the content was really like focused for specialists. But after the testing, we realized that this should be made more visual and using more like maps and 3D models and different visual materials to get residents to better comprehend the whole view of the plan. And also we reported the reduction of administrative burden as a result of transforming the service. A lot of back office processes needed to be digitalized and made more effective. And to do this, we did a lot of co-creating design session with city architects and other stakeholders to really understand like how can we improve these processes for everybody. And also less residents contact the city staff as information is clear in the planning registry. Before it was really hard to find the right information in the register and to understand it. So a lot of residents contacted city to even find simple information. About citizen engagement, this service was developed testing with citizens in different stages, starting from very low fidelity prototypes, moving to interactive ones, and almost like we are now moving to live testing. So we have this prototype set up in the testing environment. And also residents can give feedback in the register about developments, but also about the register itself. And incentives for digital use, as people are really interested in planning information and developments around them. During the testing interviews, all the people said that if city would provide planning information in a transparent and visually attractive way, they would look all the planning information in the register instead of emailing or calling city architects. So as somebody mentioned yesterday, that is like it can be like a Netflix, like it's a fun to use register, and the information is very visual, so people found it very fun to watch.